All right, everyone. Good evening. I'm Mayor Pro Tem Raymond Gregory. I'll be conducting this meeting. I want to welcome everyone and call to order our technically a special meeting for today, for Monday, October 6, 2025. And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone would please rise if you're able. And then after the pledge, if you would remain standing, Councilmember Gutierrez will be giving a short invocation. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we come to you for guidance to our affairs this evening. Bless this meeting with your divine power and help us make decisions that will be fair and just for all residents. Thank you for all of your blessings. It is in your precious name that we pray. Amen.
All right. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is roll call. City Clerk.
Councilmember Carnevale.
Present.
Councilmember Lamb. Here. Councilmember Gutierrez.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Gregory.
Here.
Mayor Ross. Let the record show Mayor Ross is absent. Do I have a motion to excuse her absence?
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Gregory, and I heard 2 seconds. I believe Councilmember Lamb. Second by Councilmember Lamb. Please vote. Councilmember Gutierrez, do you see the vote option?
It's not coming on.
Okay, do you want to verbalize your vote?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. All ayes.
Thank you so much. The next item on our agenda is agenda finalization. Are there any changes to this agenda?
There are no changes, Mayor Pro Tem.
Council? None? All right, then we will go ahead and move forward. We're fortunate we have a couple of special presentations. The first one is a presentation of a proclamation for Planning Month, which is this month, October 2025. City Manager, who will be giving this?
I guess Eric Besserell will be making this presentation.
Welcome, Eric.
You all might be wondering, what is economic development talking about planning for, and why are we celebrating it? Well, I'm here to tell you a little bit about October being National Community Planning Month. And as this part of the celebration, us as public administrators, we look at all parts of development, and we try to see, what are the pieces and how do they all connect. Planning as a profession has evolved over the years, and all the way from early visionaries who started thinking about what community development was to what we see now today in today's planners, like what we have on our team, who use data-driven insights and community engagement to address modern challenges such as what we have in housing, sustainability, transportation, and many other things. This year, the APA highlights how planners are leading the way on housing reform. That's one of the topics that's very relevant in today's economic climate. So this ensures that every community can create attainable, diverse housing options, and we do this through having planners who are able to look at a community and ensure that they help build it in the most appropriate and sustainable way. And here in Cathedral City, our planning department works on projects of all magnitudes every day. They work closely with our Department of Economic Development, Building, Housing, Public Works, and many other departments who all work together to bring new opportunities to our residents. So tonight, we join cities across the country who recognize our planners, the professionals who help turn the visions into reality and who help keep Cathedral City moving forward towards a more prosperous and inclusive future. And some of them are not able to be here today, but I want to go ahead and mention them. So part of our planning team, it's quite extensive, so I'll name just a few of them. Brianna Lemus, Clarence or Skip Smith, Manuel or Manny Rocha, he's actually here in the audience, Dominique Camps, Cynthia Schultz, our Deputy Director Sandra Molina, and our Director Andrew Firestein. So with that, we do have also a proclamation that is signed, as well as certificates of recognition for them, although we do have Manny.
So could we have those members of the planning department that are here with us come up, and council, would you come down for a little photograph and shake the hand and congratulate them?
Sure.
Congratulations.
Gonna hold the proclamation.
Hold the proclamation. Congratulations. All right. You want to line up here? Come on up. Thank you so much. So the next item on our agenda is a special recognition for our first Ignite cohort. So City Manager, who will be giving this presentation.
Economic Development is making this presentation.
Welcome, Victor.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you, City Manager. Hello, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem. So I'm here tonight because I want to highlight Ignite's first cohort. The Ignite program is Cathedral City's economic initiative designed to spark entrepreneurship through networking, workshops, and resource sharing for new and growing businesses. Programming is offered in collaboration with the Coachella Valley Women's Business Center and the Riverside County Office of Economic Development. Each quarter, the Riverside County Office of Economic Development offers a 4-week program on rotating topics. This past quarter's topic was SBDC START. SBDC is the Small Business Development Center. SBDC START, which is a startup series designed to teach entrepreneurs in an entrepreneurial mindset, business planning and research, financial projections and management, access to capital, and marketing essentials. For 4 weeks straight, every Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m., the following entrepreneurs took the time to invest in themselves and their businesses. Maria Alas, Janet David, who is with us in the audience here today, Steve Soto, and Levi Vieira Jr. To commend them on their achievement and dedication to themselves and the Cathedral City community, the City of Cathedral City and the Riverside County Office of Economic Development have presented them the very first cohort of the Ignite program with certificates of completion. And I would like to just give them a big round of applause, and if possible, Janet David has agreed to come up and just say a few words on her experience with the program, and if we could just give her a round of applause, please.
Yes, thank you.
Hi. So I'm Janet David. I'm actually pretty new to the Cathedral community, and it's been a wonderful experience so far. I've met a lot of great people here. Really excited to get started with my business. I decided to do a bookkeeping business. By profession, I am a financial counselor. I recently became unemployed, laid off due to some of the DoD cuts. The contract that I was working on out of Twin Palms was eliminated. So now I decided to go ahead and just get started on something else that I know to do and that I like to do, which is bookkeeping. So that is the business that I decided to get started with. And it was just sheer coincidence that I came across Ignite. I was researching the city to figure out how do I even get started on getting a business plan, how do I get started on just a business in general, and I came across the information about Ignite coincidentally the same day. So thanks to Ignite, I now have a mentor to help me with this business. And I also have the two individuals that were always present as guides on how to ensure that I'm being compliant with the city. So it's been a really great experience, and I hope you guys all just continue that. And I do encourage anyone that's listening that is thinking about starting a business to definitely join next round, because it was a lot of great information and really gives the confidence to get started.
All right, thank you so much, Janet, for coming. Hey, Janet, could we come down and take a picture with you in our Economic Development Department?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's go. Thank you so much for taking advantage of this. Thank you so much.
And if I may, Ignite's next 4-week program, Level Up, will begin this Thursday, October 9th, and will put entrepreneurs on the path towards growth as they evaluate and develop their metrics, benchmarks, financials, teams, triggers, and strategies to reach the next level of growth. You can sign up through our economic development webpage or contact myself or Eric here in economic development. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Victor, and thank you to you and Eric and everyone involved with this program. We're so happy that you've rolled this out and are continuing to make it grow in the city.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Next on our agenda is public comments. This is the opportunity for members of the public to make comments on items not on our agenda. I'll ask the city clerk to read the statement of participation.
Public comment is the opportunity of members of the public to comment on items that are within the City Council's jurisdiction but not on the agenda. Because of restrictions contained in California law, the City Council may not discuss or act on any item not on the agenda, but may briefly respond to statements made or ask a question for clarification. The mayor may also request that a brief response from staff be made to questions raised during public comment or request that a matter be agendized for a future meeting. Public comment will be limited to 3 minutes. If you are a member of the public and you wish to address the City Council, please complete a request to speak form available at the entrance and submit it to the City Clerk. You will be called upon at the appropriate time. If you have other materials to present to the members of the City Council, please do not approach them. All materials shall be presented to the City Clerk for distribution. Mayor Pro Tem, I did not receive any request to speak form, so if you're a member and you would like to comment on non-agenda items, please raise your hand. And I see none.
Thank you so much. The next item on our agenda is council reports, and I would like to start with Councilmember Carnevale.
It was a short week for me, but I was able to attend the new ribbon cutting for Starbucks. Very beautiful restaurant there. The grounds are nice. I was kind of surprised that the inside was a little bit smaller than your typical Starbucks, but they had beautiful patio sitting outside overlooking the highway. So it was really kind of a new concept. I really liked it, and it was very, very clean inside. And the free coffee drinks were delicious. They were bringing us little shots, and they were very well tasting. And then tomorrow I'll be going to ribbon cutting for Uppercuts in Cathedral City, 35-year celebration. And that was a short week for me. That's about all I have. I'll be doing the Century Park water, James Workman, too, on Wednesday. I'm not going to the league, so I'll be out there.
It's gonna happen this time. We have faith.
Yeah, it'll be there this time. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I know you say you didn't have much, but I know you stay busy in your contacts in the community always, in your staff meetings too. So
thank you.
So good.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Next, we will go with Councilmember Lamb.
Thank you much. And I too attended grand openings for Coffee, and Coffee is the KOFFI, and that opened up on San Luis Rey and Ramon, and that was an area that a business had burned down and changed hands, and it was just pretty blighted for a long time. And I really want to thank Eric Besserell for and Andy and the whole Cathedral City team for working with the owners and making that happen. And Bruce and Tay were just fabulous, and they have the great outdoor patio, and it was just a shoulder-to-shoulder people. So it was really nice to see that unremarkable area become remarkable. And Rodney is the new manager at Starbucks, and he made a great call on getting us all little coffee treats to keep us occupied. I also attended a Cove community. It was just a small group of people, but they are the ones that really did the community outreach for Jane Rasco and Diane Gill, who are two community activists, so invested in Cathedral City, and they did much for our community. And as a result, we were able to recognize and celebrate both of them with the street sign. So we all got together and shared memories and pictures, and Deb McIntosh is their niece, and she put it all together for us and thanked everybody from the Cathedral City community for making this happen. And I was able to attend the first and fourth session of Cathedral City Business Ignite. It was just remarkable, and I'm so glad that one of the persons was able to be here tonight. And was it Janet? Yeah, she talked, it was the very first night I was there, and she said she was a bookkeeper, and a fellow in the front row raised his hand. He said, I need a bookkeeper. It was like, what? This is just magic. But Cathedral City is all about small business, and anything that we can do and everything that we can do to support our small businesses, that's the way to go. And I love Eric Besserell's. He hands out the chip and says, thank you for taking a chance on us. And that really is a great message. So thank you. I will be attending along with Mayor Pro Tem and Mayor Ross, if she's feeling better after teeth surgery, to the League of California Cities. And one of the things I specifically am looking for during that whole program is to find out what steps the state of California is taking and where we stand in terms of budget, because it looks like it's a moving target. So if we can get any information from the state in that's something I want to bring back to you. And then last night I had an opportunity to participate in the induction ceremony for the Filipino American Association of the Coachella Valley, along with Councilman Grace Gardner from Palm Springs. She did the induction for the new board members, and I did it for the officers. But it was at Mission Hills Country Club, and I will say I didn't even know that this association existed. And we're a charter city, and we do a rotation of mayor every year. And when I was mayor, I was asked to do it, and they had their induction ceremony at I think it was Round Table Pizza right here in Cathedral City in their community room. And over the years, it's grown and grown and grown and grown. And the economic impact from the Filipino community to our community is vast, between insurance agencies and healthcare workers and all sorts of things that I wasn't aware of, and I've become aware of over the last 2.5 years. So that was a great opportunity. And with that, that's it.
Thank you so much. You have been busy. And now we'll go to Councilmember Gutierrez.
Well, thank you, Mayor, or Mayor Pro Tem. You're Mayor for today. Well, good evening, everyone. Since we last met, I also attended the ribbon cutting for Coffee. Coffee is located at the corner of San Luis Rey and Ramon Road in Cathedral City in my district, District 4. And this is their 5th location in the desert, and the first one with a drive-through. Their coffee is delicious, and they have a very friendly environment. So go on by and visit them. And the following week, I also attended the ribbon cutting for Starbucks. And right after, I met one of our residents for coffee as well. So I was coffeeed out that day. And while I was at the ribbon cutting for Starbucks, I was talking to the director of development for Fountainhead, who is a developer for the Cove Shopping Center, which is where half of the 13.5 acres have been developed across the street from here. And they mentioned that probably in about 2 to 3 months, Circle K is going to also be opening their doors soon at the same location or same area. And in about 6 months, Farmer Boys will also open up in the same location. They already broke ground, and it will take about 6 months, hopefully, for them to complete the building and get ready to open up. And I also met with a local business owner who was having a couple problems or issues regarding, he wants to buy his own build. Well, he already bought the property, but he wants to develop it. So he's having a couple of issues. He wasn't quite sure whether it was his architect or engineer or whether it was the city that was slowing him down. So I talked to him, and I mentioned it to our city manager. If there's any issues that we can help him make the process a lot easier, we'll do that. And we did the Mayor Pro Tem and also Councilmember Carnevale, we all went to the Century Park. We were going to do a walk to school. Well, we were there, but nobody else showed up. Yeah, so we'll be doing that this coming Wednesday. And the same Wednesday, sometimes our schedules just get really, really congested. We can either attend the Palm Springs Unified School District breakfast, in which they'll tell us everything that's going on with the school district, Or we can also do the walk to school from Century Park to James Workman. And I think I personally going to do the walk to school from Century Park to James Workman. And I also met with our city manager to go over tonight's agenda. And every time I meet with our city manager, I go through other issues that are going on or the residents actually call me about, and we work on things, and we discuss other issues that might be in my mind. And it's a great conversation. And I will also be attending the 35th anniversary of Supercuts tomorrow, along with Councilmember Carnevale here. And I think that was it. Of course, as it was mentioned, our colleagues will be attending the California League of Cities in Long Beach. So have fun and enjoy yourselves out there. And that concludes my report.
We will.
Thank you.
We'll send your regards to everybody there. So. But thank you so much for staying here and taking care of other business in the city. It's very much appreciated. All right. Well, in the last 2 weeks, I also went to coffee. Well, I went to coffee with the K's opening, and then I also was at the Starbucks grand opening. So you've already heard about those, but both are great additions to our city. Coffee, this being the first time that they're in our city, but they're certainly throughout the valley. And Starbucks, this is one of many. I lose count how many they have, but that shows you the faith that company has in our city. So that's something that we can all celebrate. And then, as has already been mentioned, from Wednesday through Friday this week, I will be attending, along with the mayor and Councilmember Lamb, I will be attending the Cal City's annual conference. It will be in Long Beach, and I have been to that conference before. It's always a good time to speak with colleagues all over the state that are from city councils and city managers and others involved with the cities, and look at a bunch of displays in an exhibit hall and learn some of the new technologies and services that are out there. So I look forward to that, and as my colleague here said, we'll try to learn something and bring it back to help make the city better. So the only other thing I had is I did see the news, you probably did too, of the passing on Saturday of Dana Hobart, who's a council member in our neighboring city, Rancho Mirage. And he served on that city council nearly 20 years, I think about 19 years. I think, if I remember correctly, left about 2021. And I saw there in the article it said he was mayor 5 times over there. They do a rotational mayor like we are. So we can certainly appreciate. I know I served with them a little bit on Sunline and a little bit on some of the CVAG committees, and he was very serious about the money, and sometimes he could be a little cranky. So he's different than me, but I could see some of those same qualities. So I appreciate those qualities, but I know his heart was in the right place. He is kind of infamous for probably being the driving force behind Rancho Mirage not having the CV link in Rancho Mirage, but he felt very passionate about that, and when he felt passionate about something, he stuck with it. I think that even went to a vote over there in Rancho Mirage, and they voted not to have it there, so it may someday be there, but for now, it does not go into Rancho Mirage, but he felt that was important to preserve the integrity of their city. So since we all like local control, I guess we can appreciate, whether we think that was a good idea or not, we can appreciate that he felt very strongly about local control. So I'm sure Dana will be missed, and I want to recognize him. And if the council is okay, when we adjourn, we'll adjourn in the memory of Dana Hobart from Rancho Mirage. All right, and that's all I have. So we'll go ahead and move on with our agenda. The next item is the consent agenda. So I'll ask the city clerk if she will please.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes, please.
I did have the pleasure after Greg Pettis passed away and I became mayor, I got a call from Mr. Hobart, and he said, do you want to have lunch? And out of scaredness, I said yes. And I knew how cranky this guy could get. And we met up at the Ritz, and he was there waiting for me at the front door. When I walked in, he shook my hand. And we sat down, and I got to tell you, it was the most pleasant lunch I ever had with anyone. We had a conversation for an hour and a half and never stopped talking. But he did have a little bit of crankiness to him, and I was a little nervous, but I'm so sad to see him go. He was definitely a credit to Rancho Mirage. So anyway,
thank you so much and for sharing that personal story. It's appreciated. All right, City Clerk, if you'll read the consent agenda.
Item 4A is to waive full reading of ordinances on agenda. Item 4B is the approval of the September 24th 4th, 2025 study session, regular city council minutes. Item 4C is to receive and file the commissioner committee member attendance record. Item 4D is to approve a 3-year contract with Riverside County Department of Animal Services for field and shelter services on a part-time basis, and approve a budget adjustment in the amount of $72,540 in fiscal year 25-26 and $147,211 in fiscal year 26-27. Item 4E is to accept the resignation of Charlotte Hunter Copper from the Historic Preservation Committee, and that concludes the consent agenda.
All right, council, you have any questions or comments on the consent agenda? Are there any public comments?
I did not receive any, Mayor Pro Tem. Are there any members of the public who would like to comment on the consent agenda? And I see none.
All right, I'll bring it back to the council. What's your pleasure? All right, we have a motion to approve. We have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
Motion by Councilmember Lamb and a second by Councilmember Gutierrez. Please vote. And motion carries. All ayes.
Thank you very much. All right, moving right along, we're into our legislative calendar. Our first item on the legislative calendar is construction contract award to Vance Corporation for the Panorama Neighborhood Streets, Corridor Road, Alcida Road Pavement Rehabilitation Project. City Manager.
Mayor Pro Tem Armando Baldizone will be presenting this item to you.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. Tonight, the staff is requesting council consideration and approval to award a construction contract to Vance Corporation for the Panorama Neighborhood Street, Corta, and Ancita Road pavement rehabilitation projects. A little background: in 2024, the City of Cathedral voters approved Measure W that approximately provides $1 million for residential street maintenance and rehabilitation. Following that, in the fiscal year 25-26, the Capital Improvement Program these two projects, the Panorama Neighborhood Street Grinding and Rias and Corta and Ancita Road pavement reconstruction with Measure W funds. In the Panorama neighborhood, the streets that are going to be rehabilitated are Panorama Road from Vistachino to Del Palm, Los Gatos from Valgermo to Fortuna, Durango from Avenida La Paz to La Vista, and the description of the project or the work that is going to be done is micro-milling, crack sealing, pavement resurfacing on the edges of the road, rias, and restriping the streets. For Corta and Ancita Road, these are resurfacing projects. Corta is the extension of Corta is from Pauline Avenue to Landau Boulevard, and Ancita Road is from Avenida Maravilla to the west end. The project description is the pavement resurfacing, so removal and replacement of 3 inches of asphalt, water facility adjustment, and striping. The engineering department issued an invitation of bid that was published in the Desert Sun on August 17 and was available at the City of Cathedral City website and plan room from August 15 until September 4. The bid was open on September 4 of 2025, and we received 7 proposals, being Vance Corporation the lowest responsible and responsive bidder. The bid also included an additive alternate that is related to Coachella Valley and adjusting all the water facilities, but they decided to complete the work with their own on-call contractor. So the fiscal impact, as I mentioned, these 2 projects were programmed with funding sources in the Capital Improvement Program. If you can see, Panorama Neighborhood was programmed with Measure W, and Corta and Ancita were programmed with Measure W. The combined estimate construction cost was $1.3 million, a little over $1.3 million. The project construction cost, the construction budget, the total base bid for these 2 projects came a little under what was estimated, a little under $920,000. We are recommending 20% contingency for a total construction budget a little over $1.1 million. The proposed funding sources, Panorama Neighborhood Street projects, we're going to use Measure A, and we're going to supplement that thing with Assessment District 88-3 funds that are restricted only for the Panorama Neighborhood area. And then Cortan and Cita will be using Measure W funds, and Measure A will use for the contingency. So as shown in your report, these are the budget allocations for the construction of these projects. This is the same table. And these projects align with the 5-year strategic plan, Goal B, community investment. And the staff recommendation in your report is to award the construction contract to Vance Corporation, include the 20% contingency, bringing the total project budget to the amount of $1,103,658.48, authorize the city manager to execute the required contract documents, and authorize the city engineer to request bond insurances for the project and issue the notice to proceed. With that, that concludes my report. Back to you, Mayor.
All right, thank you so much for that presentation. Council members. How about Councilmember Gutierrez? Go ahead.
Thank you for your presentation. It always brings a smile to my face when I hear you guys are working on our streets. Now, my question is there a reason why Corta is not going to be completed all the way to Maravilla? It stops at Pauline. Is it in better shape in that portion, or?
It is a budget restriction. We don't have funding to get to that.
Oh, okay, so it's a budget restriction, the reason why. But it does need to be done, it just, we don't have the budget.
The PCI is similar to the other section, yes.
Oh, okay. And do you know how much it will take to complete that portion? If council were to agree to actually complete that portion?
No, I don't have. I need to get back to you. I don't have that number in front of me.
Okay.
I don't have that number now.
So it wasn't bid, so you would have to kind of start over with the engineering and the bidding, right, to do that? To add it, you can't just add a little?
Correct. I will need to have the surface, but the reconstruction will be around, the number that we are using is probably I think it's $9 per square foot. More than $9 per square foot for.
And it was presented this way in the budget, if I remember correctly. You gave us a map of everything that was going to get done.
It was presented that it was going to be from Pauline to the west. Yes.
Okay. All right. Will this be considered in future? I know that you provided us with a map, but just a short portion. Is that going to be reconsidered in the future to be completed?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Carnevale.
Thank you. Thank you, Armando, and thank you, John, for making this half a cent work. I mean, it's amazing what a half a cent tax can do to our city, and how you're using it is just makes, to use Councilmember Gutierrez, a smile on my face, the same thing, to see this work just getting going right away. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Nothing? On top of that, you're also using some assessment district money. I didn't think there was any money left in that assessment district, so
That's the last part.
I'm glad you found some. Maybe that was interest or something that made over the years. So it's a good use for that. So a couple of things. Same thing on Corta Road, but going the other way. It's going to only go to approximately 625 feet east of Landau Boulevard. Is that? I know there was recently the Veterans Village put in there. Is that related to that?
It's because the Veterans Village redo the streets.
So that part's already new. So you're going to pick up where they went, and you're going to go as far as the money will take you down to Pauline. Very good. All right. I know Los Gatos is on this this project, which is very good. It really needs to be done. And I know Frontier is finally there, putting in that last portion that they missed somehow when they went through and put fiber lines in Cathedral City. So are you coordinating with them so we don't come into a situation where we slurry all that and then they come right behind? And in fact, I went down today and there's some holes today.
It's going to be coordinated with Frontier at the moment of the pre-construction meeting.
Okay, well, that's excellent, especially for people that live in that area or use that street, because they'll undoubtedly be, you can still see the cuts even when Frontier does the job correctly patching, but this will help cover all that up, make it look nice and new and smooth. So thank you for that, and thank you for going through the bidding project and working with finances to get us the best deal. It's much appreciated. All right, any other questions or comments? How about public comments?
Mayor Pro Tem, I did not receive any request to speak forums. If you're a member of the public and you wish to comment on this item, please raise your hand. And I see none.
All right, bring it back to the council. What's your pleasure? We have a motion
Second.
and a second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Lamb and a second by Councilmember Gutierrez. Please vote. And motion carries. All ayes.
All right, thank you so much. Always good to see these projects moving forward. Our next item is to authorize a task order to NAI Consulting, Inc. for the design of the Landau Boulevard Public Alley Reconstruction Project. City Manager, who will be doing the presentation?
Mayor Pro Tem Andrew Lee is going to be doing this presentation. So again, more good news, more progress on roadway work here in Cathedral City.
Thank you so much. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you. Good evening, Honorable Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members. Tonight, I'll be presenting the recommendation to authorize a task order to NAI Consulting for the design of the Landau Boulevard Public Alley Reconstruction Project. So Senate Bill 1, or the Road Maintenance and Rehabilitation Act account, was signed into law in April of 2017. That same year, as a requirement of the SB1 program, City Council approved a list of projects proposed to be funded with SB1 through a resolution. And that resolution was updated in May of this year to include the next fiscal year's list of projects to be funded through SB1. The Landau Boulevard Public Alley is a north and south alleyway bound by Landau Boulevard to the west and Avenida La Paz to the east. The project limit is from Vistachino Drive to 30th Avenue, approximately 1 mile long. And the scope of the project will include a full depth removal and reconstruction of the existing pavement, as well as incorporating a centerline ribbon gutter to address the drainage and structural performance. The next two slides will show the existing conditions. This one is on the north end of the alley, closer to Vistachino. And this one is closer to about the halfway point near Tachiba Drive. So city staff issued a request for proposals on September 4th to the city's list of on-call engineering support services consultants. The proposals were due on September 19th, and two companies submitted proposals. The proposals were evaluated and scored by staff from the engineering division, and criteria included evaluating the work and the cost proposals. And NAI Consulting from Cathedral City received the highest rating. So NAI will provide the preliminary research, environmental compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act. They'll prepare the plan specifications and cost estimates and accomplish any coordination with utility companies and help with the bidding assistance and construction support once we get to construction. Shown on this slide is the fiscal impact. This project is proposed to be funded with all SB1 funds. And this project aligns with Goal B in our 5-year strategic plan. And city staff requests that the City Council authorize a task order to NAI Consulting, approve a 20% contingency for unforeseen design-related issues, bringing the total design encumbrance to $92,050, and authorize the city engineer to execute the task order. And that concludes my presentation. I'll hand it back to you, Mayor Pro Tem.
All right, thank you so much for the presentation. Questions, comments, questions or comments?
Thank you very much for your presentation. The only comment I wanted to make, when I was first elected to council in 2019, I was able to attend the League of California Cities conference, and it was in Long Beach. And they had a whole presentation on SB1, and I had no idea what that was. but they talked about the history before we had SB 1, which was signed into law by Governor Brown. And before that, when cities had other priorities, they let the roads just deteriorate. I mean, they just didn't have the funding for it. So this pot of money was provided just for that reason. So thank you.
Thanks so much. I know, and let me ask you, I know this is for the design, but do we know, and it has the center line, what is it called? The ribbon gutter, which is good. But do we know what materials that we're looking at for this reconstruction?
Yes, for the pavement, we're looking at asphalt, and for the ribbon gutter, we're looking at concrete.
Okay, so that will be concrete. Because that appears to be one of the issues now, is a lot of it is the asphalt where the water runs and...
Yeah, it'll be
doesn't-
finalized during design, but that's kind of what we're initially looking at.
In the design. All right.
Yeah.
So very good. So we'll look forward for that when it comes back for actual construction bid award. So thank you. And just a reminder, this is one of the projects that was on the books and then got delayed with the Tropical Storm Hillary construction. So it's really needed. Although it is a public alleyway, it is heavily used, at least by the people that live there, or visit there, or the workers that go there. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. If there's nothing else, public comments. See, I almost
I
forgot.
did not receive any request to speak forms. If you're a member of the public and you wish to comment on this item, please raise your hand. And I see none.
All right. We'll turn it back to council. What would you like to do? We have a motion to approve. You have a second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Lamb and a second by Councilmember Carnevale. Please vote. And motion carries. All ayes.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. The next item on the agenda is to award contracts for the HSIP Cycle 11C citywide traffic signal hardware upgrades. City Manager.
So we're going to keep the theme running with Andrew presenting this item. So this is going to be for improvements to our traffic signal system that are serving our streets.
Thank you. Welcome back, Andrew.
Thank you again. Honorable Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members, tonight I'll be presenting the award of recommendation to award contracts for the HSIP Cycle 11C citywide traffic signal hardware upgrades project. So back in 2022, Caltrans approved HSIP Cycle 11C for the project. The original scope included the installation of LED safety lighting, internally illuminated street name signs, and retroreflective borders at 49 intersections. In 2024, Caltrans authorized the city to move forward with the preliminary engineering phase. And so City Council awarded an agreement to STC Traffic to complete the preliminary engineering phase. During the PE phase, Caltrans removed the internally illuminated street name signs from the project scope due to these signs not being considered a safety countermeasure. In 2025, the PE phase was completed and Caltrans approved the city's request for funding allocation for construction. So the project project limits is 49 signalized intersections in the city, and the project scope includes the installation of LED safety lighting and traffic signal backplates with retroreflective borders. And the proposed improvements are shown on this slide. And so tonight's agenda item is divided into two parts. The first part will be the construction contract, and the second part will be for the construction engineering contract. So starting with part one, the invitation to bid was published in the Desert Sun on August 14th and August 26th. The plan specifications and estimates were uploaded to the Cathedral City website and Planet Plan Room from August 14th through September 4th. On September 4th, the bid opening was held here at City Hall, and three bids were received, with Econolight Systems from Yorupa Valley being the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. Now moving on to part two, construction engineering will include construction management, labor compliance, inspections, and material testing. Just wanted to remind Council that the HSIP grant includes funds for CE, and this ensures compliance with all state-funded project delivery requirements. For the construction engineering, the request for qualifications and proposals was issued on August 17th, and the deadline was September 8th. On September 8th, the city received 5 proposals, and RT Engineering from San Bernardino was the highest ranked construction engineering consultant. To review the fiscal impact, the ASIP grant balance is in the amount of $931,230. The total construction cost is in the amount of just under $700,000. And so city staff is proposing a 20% contingency, bringing the total construction budget to $838,800. And shown on this slide is the breakdown of the fiscal impact. 90% of the funds will be funded through the ASIP grant, and 10% will be provided through Measure A as the local match. This aligns with Goal E Safety in our 5-year strategic plan. And city staff requests that the city council award a construction contract to Econolight Systems, award a professional engineering services agreement to RT Engineering, approve a 20% contingency, bringing the total construction budget to $838,800, authorize the city manager to execute both contract documents, and authorize the city engineer to request bonds, insurances, and issue the notice to proceed. With that, I'll hand it back to you, Mayor Pro Tem.
All right, thank you so much. Council, any questions? So I have a weird question. So of course, I read all of this stuff, and I noticed in the trying to look at what the name of the document is, where it has the project understanding and approach. There's a notation that there was a little bit different count. It says the plans show 149 LED luminaire improvements, but the bid schedule shows 141. So was that worked out?
No.
Do you know how many LED luminaire hits? Because when you look back further, they're correct. I think it says 141, but they're saying from the map it's 149. So I thought it was interesting that they pointed that out, but then they don't have anywhere that I could see a resolution as to that's in the RTEA's or RT Engineering Associates Professional Construction Engineering Support Services. It says page 11 on there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have that.
It wasn't corrected in the bid schedule. We will work with the contractor to.
Okay. Do you want him to say that too? All right.
Yes, the plans or the bid schedule is correct, and if it doesn't align with the plans, then we will work with the contractor, and that's what the contingency is for.
All right. Excellent. All right. Glad to work that out. And I had to look. I'm glad you showed a photograph. So when it says LED safety lighting, us common folks might just call those street lights, right? So they're the when you come to an intersection that's very safe and well lit. It has those extra street lights around all of the corners, right?
Yes, correct.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. That was all my questions. Are there any public comments?
Mayor Pro Tem, we did not receive any request to speak forms. If you're a member of the public and you wish to comment on this item, please raise your hand, and I see none.
All right. We'll bring it back to council then. What's your pleasure? We have a motion to approve. And a second.
Motion by Councilmember Lamb and a second by Councilmember Carnevale. Please vote. And motion carries. All ayes.
All right. Thank you so much. And the next item on our agenda, get the formal title here, Balloon Festival Production and Revenue Sharing Agreement and Concert Headliner, City Manager.
Mayor Pro Tem, our community and events manager, or communications and events manager, Ryan Hunt is going to be presenting this item. As you recall, at our last council meeting, staff made a presentation seeking council's input on whether you would like to make any additional investment into the festival this year for a headline entertainment or a headliner act. The council approved $80,000, which would be a general fund investment for a headliner. Ryan has been working with Sound Skills and working out kind of the Identification Act as well as the revenue sharing with Sound Skills as the event producer. So with that, I will turn it over to Ryan to walk you through that.
Thank you, City Manager, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council. Good to be with you. I'm excited to be presenting to you tonight proposed headline concert agreement for the Cathedral City International Hot Air Balloon Festival. Wanted this to be the first time that the name came out, but I think you can report, and KASQ beat me to it on when they see the posted agenda on Wednesday morning. So we do have some media attention already for this. Also heard from our key partners, Agua Caliente Casinos, Visit Greater Palm Springs, that saw the agenda posting, and we're very excited about this proposition as well. So move forward with the presentation. Strategic plan goals, goal F3, which is promote additional community events and celebrations. I think you hear that one from me a lot. And then goal F8, which is to focus on economic development. Establishes Cathedral City as a regional destination. I think that this festival and many of our other signatures do that every year. Supports tourism, economic development objectives. That's why we do this and invest. Sales tax revenue coming back to our community, restaurants getting foot traffic, all of our businesses feeling supported, and that major events drive economic impact, which I think the latest Visit Greater Palm Springs study showed that our signature festivals, for every dollar, brings back 10 to 12 to the Cathedral City community. So I think we've talked a little bit about overcoming some of our challenges and building back up the momentum, but the transition, I am really proud of the work that Sound Skills Entertainment has done since taking over this festival. I think they've rebuilt a lot of our stakeholder relationships after some operational challenges, and we've experienced a record partner investment into the festival of more than $62,000, which is a 35% increase from 2024. And, critical success factors are, sponsors committed record funding levels for this event. I think that's a testament to them seeing our growth and the investment from you all as a council. Agua Caliente Casinos going from $20,000 to $40,000 as an investment is significant. It's something we're very grateful and appreciative of, and I think that's certainly a testament to the headline entertainment and the acts that we provide in the amphitheater. So major headline entertainment demonstrates continued growth, and we're excited about this proposed headline concert for your approval tonight. So the artist is Robin Thicke. Really excited to have a multi-platinum recording artist and TV personality. You see that the headline concert is actually proposed for Friday night, not Saturday night. He was filming Masked Singer, so I didn't take it too personally that he picked the 5.2 million household viewers over the Cathedral City International Hot Air Balloon Festival, but he was available Friday. And we've always thought that Friday had a great amount of potential. Our previous operator disagreed, and so we've certainly, I think, moved things in the right direction there. And I'm excited about having a Friday night headline act that I think will do really well. Blurred Lines is probably his most well-known, but multiple Billboard Top 10 hits, 7 studio albums with platinum gold certifications, Grammy Award nominations. He is a judge on Fox's The Masked Singer, which has been a huge hit. 5+ million social media followers and over 1 billion YouTube views. So he's last performed in the Valley 2021. So it's been 4 or 5 years since he's been here. And why Robin Thicke? We think he appeals to core demographic, ages 35 to 65 of the Balloon Festival, but I also think he attracts a younger audience and demographic as well, looking at some of his success. Currently touring with strong West Coast following, and he is an experienced performer, would be providing a 75, 90-minute show similar to LeAnn Rimes. So the financial structure, this is the first time in 11 years that a third-party event producer has proposed making an investment of this magnitude, $65,000 to put back into this headline act. So the total investment, you can see the breakdown last year of LeAnn Rimes. Ticket revenue was almost $48,000, a little under, $47,812. And then the 2025 model, the artist fee being a little more than $85,000, but Sound Skills would be willing to absorb the production costs. Last year, the city was on the hook for all of the production costs for LeAnn Rimes. We had to be on the hook for all of the rider, all of the clauses to satisfy for the performer, which I think I've told many of you offline, it was a beast to do that just as an internal city staff, and having somebody negotiate that, take the time to do this, I think was a huge investment on their side, and they're taking a huge risk, I think, as well, to be able to benefit the festival and get things, to make sure the 11th annual event is a huge success. So SoundSkills handles all the logistics, but you can see some of the breakdown and costs of what they're absorbing, a little over $65,000. So our total capacity in the amphitheater is almost 3,000. We'll have 780 complimentary tickets. That's VIP tables and sponsors. In addition to that, 600 resident tickets. That leaves 2,100, a little bit more than that, available for sale. Pricing's very similar model to last year, 30 to 100. The VIP and reserved premium standard seating. I think SoundSkills has a little bit of a different idea for some of the VIP tabling and how that would look like, but general reserve, general admission standing, and I think he's upgraded the level of placement for Cathedral City residents for that 600 as well, which is a nice, I think the total in-kind value of the tickets that he's giving back is between $40,000 to $50,000 of potential revenue. So the revenue agreement, you can see the revenue scenarios there. We are proposing producer cost recovery. He's investing $65,000 plus into the event, which we think is significant. As I mentioned, that's the most that a third-party event producer's ever invested in our headline entertainment. And then once it would get to producer cost recovery, the profit sharing agreement would be 75% coming to the city of Cathedral City and 25% to SoundSkills. So rationale, we think it's fair to make our third-party event producer whole on his investment, and city, receives the majority of the share of profits past that. You can see the total there. I think there's a number of reasons why I think, and I mentioned this at the last meeting, this would perform better. I think using Event Hub versus Tickeria was not a good system last year. I think we've got a better marketing group focus. I think we have an event operator that's certainly in support of promoting this event, and I think if you look at the revenue scenarios, this motivates everybody to sell this concert and have a successful event. Transparent documented cost threshold. It's probably the longest staff report I provided to you all. It was about 20 pages, so hopefully level of detail was appreciated. So the partnership investment benefits $62,500 plus. Agua Caliente Casinos $40,000. Obviously goes back to the event for a fifth consecutive year. That's record and significant. Visit Greater Palm Springs, that $12,500 will be check made to the city of Cathedral City, not to SoundSkills. City of Rancho Mirage, $10,000 in-kind public safety services. It was right around that number last year. They'll be providing that. And then Westin Rancho Mirage has expanded programming. They have a whole new Sunday balloons and brunch event that they're doing. They've been a much more invested partner this year, and we're really excited. I think that was a two-way street. We had to improve that relationship a little bit. You can see some of the new designs that I've got sprinkled into, some of the new retro look that we're working into some of our marketing and production. So the partnership and community benefits, I've outlined $65,000 in documented costs. It could be north of that. That's the projected, and that's what we're going to roll with. Professional concert management, which is huge. I mean, to do that all as a city staff last year was a huge undertaking. I don't think we quite met the mark, as I've made some concessions internally, but I think we did the best we could. But having a team of 10 to 15 versus just me and Adam running around like crazy, I think will be good. Event Hub ticketing platform, I think, is a major upgrade from 2024. Mentioned some of these already, the community access, the free ticket pickup. We want to bring that back to Agua Caliente Ace Club, priority resident access during the sales launch, multiple entertainment options, ticketed and free, and then we have talked to Queen Nation about moving to Saturday, and so we won't lose the Radio Ready Queen Nation portion of that for Saturday. We've also booked Hollywood U2, which used to be our key headliner a couple of years ago, and a Stevie Nicks Illusion cover band. Lots of cover bands that have been booked for the entire day on Saturday that'll lead to our balloon glow. So with that, staff recommendation is to authorize the interim city manager to execute the concert production and revenue sharing agreement with SoundSkills Entertainment, establishing a two-phase revenue structure, producer cost recovery, then 75% to the city, 25% to SoundSkills. They also assume all production responsibilities and management of the rider. The agreement is now on the hook for Steve Clayton and SoundSkills to deliver with Robin Thicke. Last year was Leanne Rhymes and the city exclusively. So it's a big deal to take on the production costs and the value of the rider. And to approve Robin Thicke as the headline entertainment for the 11th annual Cathedral City International Hot Air Balloon Festival on Friday, November 21st, 2025. We really think this is a big name. We think it's going to do well, and we're excited about the momentum that we're already seeing trickling out there. So with that, I'll open it up, and I'm sure there are questions. So.
Thank you so much for the presentation. So I just want to, thank you so much for the presentation and all the work. I know I personally, I'm not going to ask all my questions first. We'll let everybody else go first. I personally had some concerns with this, which I expressed, and it's not lost on any of us that this whole previous discussion, which was back in August, on August 13th, and the approval of the council then was for a Saturday headliner. And a lot of that report had to do with the value of having a Saturday headliner. So it's not lost on any of us that this is a Friday now headliner, but we'll let other council ask questions and go first. So Councilmember Carnevale.
My main question is, how long is his performance?
90 minutes, an hour and a half.
Is that the norm? I think
It
that's
is.
what,
That's standard.
Yeah, the contract says 75 minutes.
I'm sorry?
It says 75 minutes.
75 to 90.
Okay, 75, 90. And does he have a group with him? I saw he has extra band members.
He does. He has a DJ and a band with him, and obviously we would plan on, filling that in with acts throughout the evening.
Okay, going over the pricing, I think the pricing's fair compared to what I see what casinos are getting for top name entertainment and all. So best of luck.
Thank you,
Here we go.
Councilmember. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. My question is, did we approximately, if we were to pay for the production that we did for Leanne Rhymes, would we have paid around $65,000?
Well, I mean,
Or close to that?
I certainly wouldn't. We wouldn't have been able to get an act at the level of Robin Thicke had the event producer not agreed to take on $65,000 in investment for the production costs. So last year we took that on completely with Leanne Rhymes, and it did go over where we would have liked that to be. And so seeing what that is like, the education that I've had from year to year now, that's a big risk to assume. And so you can look at the production structure of the agreement and see that, but if it doesn't sell, the risk is really a lot of it's on Mr. Clayton and Sound Skills Entertainment. So I think the motivation, the belief that he has in this community. I mean, this is a big act. This is not. I mean, this is. I think when you get into the 30, 40,000, 25,000 acts, you question, are you really going to make any money off of it? I mean, is it really going to be beneficial for even the investment? We would just go down to what we normally do, which I think Mayor Pro Tem said last time, it was a cover band, and do it that way. But I think we've elevated the festival. I think we've elevated expectations of our residents and visitors, and I think there's a belief and a momentum building for this type of act here in Cathedral City, and I think the amphitheater is a really good spot for it.
Yeah, this is when you think about your age and you go, well, I think Willie Nelson will sound really good.
Willie's going to be a little bit more than what's on the rolls here, I can tell you. As somebody who's worked with Willie Nelson actually before, I can tell you he's a little bit more expensive. But I think for the bang for the buck, the value that is on this particular artist, I think I was stunned. And by the way, we negotiated down quite a bit on that rate that was initially started. I don't think in the agreement I'm allowed to, the agreement that Sound Skills and Robin Thicke are working out, I don't think I'm allowed to talk about some of that, but we did negotiate down from a higher price point. So.
No, that's great. It makes me feel old that I only heard one of his songs.
And to clarify, to go back to your point, I'm not sensing any ability to not make money or have a successful event Friday night versus Saturday night for the Balloon Festival. So.
Thank you.
I just had one question, and that
Sure.
is, it had to do with the 600 complimentary tickets. I know you it was on Discover Cathedral City last year. What are the other ways? I'm not a social media
You can go over
person.
to the Ace Club over at the casino. So we're
Yes.
trying to drive foot traffic to them.
Yes.
I
just ran around the neighborhood and I told people, hey, I don't know if they're still available.
Well,
but
it
we'll
worked. We
see.
gave them all away last year, which
Okay.
was really nice.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I
okay.
appreciate you doing that. But the Ace Club is going to be, we'll roll out our marketing pending your approval.
Okay.
Roll out the marketing, but plenty of ways to get your tickets for sure.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
So, so I'm just a little thrown off by some of this. Again, starting with that the whole last presentation was about a Friday or a Saturday night headliner, and that's what was approved. And I know this in the what's being asked of us tonight is to apply that to this, but technically that wasn't what was approved last time. But I guess this would correct it. So last year, you reported revenue of $47,811 from Leanne Rhymes.
Correct.
And that did cover the production costs.
Correct.
Which you did a lot of hard work, keeping those
Sure.
down. So, so the production costs on this one are much higher, and I think you've kind of touched on that a little bit. And that was a Saturday night concert that was publicized well ahead, and although there were issues, I felt that was a fairly good sell. I don't know I don't see anything that says exactly how many tickets that was, including any free tickets.
Talking about the total entries, probably
Last
about
year,
1,800.
About 1,800.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to sell all 2,900 tickets. They're not all for sale.
Well, I
but-
think we're going to hopefully have a ticketing platform that's not going to make you squint your eyes and throw the phone or
all
the
right.
computer, which
But
we
I'm just
received
talking
several
I'm just
calls
talking
about
the
that.
sales.
Yeah.
So I just look at that and say, well, for a Friday, because I asked the people, hey, do you realize the concert's on Friday night? Friday night is always on Saturday night. Friday, are you going to go? Well, I won't go to a Friday night. I worked all day. I know the city doesn't necessarily work all day on Friday, but most people work on Friday. So it doesn't mean nobody will go, but I'm a little concerned that some of these projections with attendance numbers are going to be difficult. And there's already some difficulty out there with people wanting to attend events anyways. None of this is anybody's fault. or
Sure.
your fault.
No, understood.
But I'm just
Absolutely.
saying, just trying to be realistic. And I'm a little concerned that if we think that any of this money is going to is the city's going to recoup any of the $80,000, that's not likely. We hope, but it's not likely. There's some figures in there that say potentially $125,000, which would pay them back and pay us partway back. And so I hope, but I just think realistically that it's not very transparent to say that's likely to happen. That's kind of an outside,
I don't believe I said that for the record, Mayor Pro Tem.
I'm not saying you did. I'm saying that when you take the totality of all this
Sure.
with all of the that's said in
We
this.
have a maximum projection somewhere in the middle and then probably a lower projection there for you
All
to
right, so let's
marinate,
talk
yeah.
about some of those projections. So you break down what the types of tickets that are for sale in here. 120 VIP seats, 30 of those go to city council staff and official guests.
That's correct. Our sponsors, the
Is that
Bob
who- I was gonna
Caliente
say, who are-
Casinos,
who is
Visit
that?
Greater Palm Springs.
I know who the city
Yeah.
council is, and
Yeah.
I assume there's some city staff. But, so that's $3,000 worth there. So then there's 90 for sale, $9,000 left over, and there's a little question about this VIP experience because in the back of the contract there's certain things that Sound Skills gets to keep 100% of that doesn't count towards the $65,000. One of those is food and beverage, which had been mentioned before, so that didn't surprise me at all.
Sure.
And we're not
But
paying
it's
towards food and
100%
beverage.
of about 10%, if that makes sense. So Robin Thicke's going to keep 90% of the merchandise sales, and the food vendors are going to keep 70% of the food vendor sales. So
None of that's in here, but that's okay
Yeah.
because we're not doing the food and the beverage. But then
Right.
there's this mention of a VIP experience that Sound Skills gets to put together, which includes meet and greet and that type of a thing, using Robin Thicke, who basically we paid more than half for, but the Sound Skills keeps all of that money and it doesn't count towards the $65,000. So why is that?
we didn't get that opportunity with Leanne Rhymes. She declined meet and greets and some of those experiences.
But we didn't have a revenue sharing with them. I'm asking you, when there's negotiations with the revenue sharing, how did that get excluded from the total take of the concert?
I don't think we're talking about a significant investment. Looking at the percentages, obviously, we don't have last year, the contract to review for Leanne Rhymes, because there was an agreement between the city and Leanne Rhymes. This agreement
so
is
how much are
between.
they going to charge for those tickets, those experience?
Well, the VIP, some of those are going to come back to our sponsors
But this is in addition to tickets. This is a different experience. It basically looks like you can buy a lower level ticket.
There are meet and greet add-ons for sure.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah.
you're saying you don't think it's going to be very much money. So how much are they going to charge for it?
I don't have that number
So
for
we
you.
don't know. So they just get to keep it. and then you look at the, well, that's the truth, right? You correct me. Do you know?
Yeah, well, I just think it's a fair agreement. That's all.
All right. Because I'm just looking, VIP package revenue, and it talks about what it is, and then it just says 100% to producer.
I think for 10 years with us giving 100% to the event producers, us migrating and graduating as an event production group, that we left a lot of money on the table when I inherited this role. And I think now we're approaching a graduation, and maybe I am learning some from you. That'll be great for me to go back to learn all of that. I appreciate all the feedback. I think the fiscal responsibility aspects are important to me as well. And so I think the transparency is great.
I think I told you, I'm going to have a lot of questions. And
You did. No, you know, absolutely. I'm here. I'm here for them. Absolutely. I just think
Ryan, if I could interject
Yeah, go
a
ahead.
thing. I think also, my estimation from this is that the producer will be operating the backstage and the VIP experience,
Correct.
and not staff, and is probably why that has been requested to be 100% of the producer for doing the work to coordinate those events.
100% of 10%.
I got that.
Yeah.
But they'll also be doing the production and the rest of the concert too. So one could say it's different, but it's really part of the same. I'm just wondering why we're just.
Well, they're doing a lot of the production of the overall
Because
balloon
basically,
festival too, and they're not
we
keeping
put
the
up
175.
80,000.
Yeah.
We put up 80,000. He puts up 65.
Which is
And when
significant.
I first saw the agenda, it said profit sharing 60-40, and I
Yeah.
thought, oh, well, that sounds very fair because we're both at risk.
Well, that wasn't a finalized agenda,
All right.
but yeah.
So I'm just saying, I was encouraged. I thought, wow, this is actually pretty good. And he's at risk and we're at risk. And then when I actually saw how it got revised, well, he keeps 100%. He puts up money. We put up money. He puts up money. And then he gets 100% until he's all paid back. And then after that, he's all paid back, so he's back even.
If he gets paid, that's a
25%.
risk that he won't necessarily
we'll
get paid
talk
back
about that
either.
in a second.
Yeah.
So he's all paid back. Now he gets 25%. Now we start getting paid back if we ever get to that level, which again is a higher level, is what I was trying to point out, than what we had last time.
Yeah.
You'd have to sell a lot more tickets than what we sold last time to even get to the point where he's paid back and we even start to get paid back. But he'll get partially paid back because we'll sell some tickets.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Well, and as an event producer, he is in the business of making money as well.
Oh,
So, I mean,
got
looking
it.
out. No, I'm just saying 65,000 is a significant pot of change. I mean, I know it wasn't quite up to 80, but
I got it.
65,000 is a lot of money.
Well, if it was 80, that would be worse because he'd have to get the whole 80 paid back before we start getting any. If it was
Well,
like 80 and 80.
I don't like
maybe
the hypothetically.
weird.
I don't know that we didn't get that to,
Well, you're
to
the
really
one.
assess.
You were the one that's
so.
brought up the 80, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That would be different. So, okay, so we have the tickets, and it says VIP, and then reserved, and reserve standard, general reserve. Then it says GA standing. So it said somewhere in your presentation that it was a better level of seating, I think you said, for the ones that are being given away, but they're not seating at all. They're standing room, right?
There's GA seating for the 600 tickets.
Well, that's not what it says in the staff report. It says GA standing, 1,000 tickets at 30, 600 complimentary for Cathedral City residents.
Well, the 600 complimentary for Cathedral City out of the 1,000 comps. I can get clarification on that for you.
Brian, I think the clarification is, are the free seats for the city individuals going to be standing only, or are they going to be actual chairs?
Oh, I'm sorry. I did misunderstand your question. I'm sorry. Yes, no, they will be standing, correct.
Okay.
But they'll be closer to the view.
They're
That's what I
closer.
mean by that.
Okay, because
yes.
I think you said seating, and then I was
No, I'm
confused,
sorry
'cause
about
like,
that.
all
I
right.
appreciate that clarification. Thank you,
All
City
right,
Manager.
so 400 will be for sale, but then other places in the agreement here, it says that also another 150 have to come out, 50 for the artists and 100 for the tribe. So where do those come out? Because it's not here in your analysis.
I believe they are part of it was down to 2109 that were ready for sale. Let me go back to that slide if I can find it.
Well, I see that, but that one doesn't talk about what type is what type.
They will not all be VIP. It'll be a mix, and some of those have to go to Robin Thicke per the agreement. Yes.
Oh, so those aren't just the GA standing, those will be others.
Those are potential revenue that he's giving away due to the concert agreement that he would propose that he proposed with Mr. Thicke.
Okay. But when you have your analysis that it adds up to 125,505 if everything sells out, they're not deducted anywhere, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I'll take a look. We deducted for potential, let me see, hang on. Yeah, I don't.
So like Reserve Platinum, it says 400, Reserve Standard 800, Reserve. So some of those.
Oh, there it is, the less refunds. We did do it, we did a deduction for the 2,500, the 2,510, it's probably not properly labeled, but the less refunds, 2%
Yeah, it's
did
not
account.
broken. What it is just not broken out in here because if there are, say maybe those are Reserve Standard level, well then instead of 800, you'd have 150 left. Now you may have broken that out in the money pot somewhere.
Sure.
But it's hard to tell in here where those came out. So it's hard to, and then, or at least for this calculation, the bottom line would be off because there's 150
The
tickets.
three
of some
VIP
level.
tables are for the City Council for Agua Caliente Casino, City of Rancho Mirage, and I believe the Westin.
Okay, but there's notation.
Visit
in
Greater
here
Palm Springs
that
did not
like,
request
say,
a
for
VIP
example, the
table.
tribe, they get 100 extra tickets.
They get 100 tickets for being a $40,000 presenting
I got
sponsor.
you, but I'm saying, well, what level were they?
They're not VIP. They're last year they were general admission for Leanne Rhymes. That's
but
a
I'm
similar
saying
structure.
there's like 5 different levels, so they're not VIP. They're probably not GA standing. What level are they?
They are scattered, but probably mostly through general admission.
Okay, so, all right, but they do affect the bottom line here somewhere.
Correct.
All right. Let's see if I've covered everything. Yeah, I think so. Like I shared, like I shared last time, I have concerns that, you know, we had a very nice concert last year, and we have this isn't all that's being paid. This is just for this event. There's also the whole balloon festival event, which increased over last year, and it was
Sure.
very well justified, and it was approved in the budget. And then we come back, and then we're supposed to have nice cover bands the nights, and then, you know, this comes up. And you did a very good job of
Appreciate that.
working on it, and you did a very
And I appreciate
good,
your
good job
feedback.
of
I do.
explaining
Yeah.
it, really. But I really have concerns that it's just not the best use of taxpayer dollars. So I had hoped, and I know last time when this was presented in August, there was some hope that the revenue sharing would help take a little bit of the edge off. And you did do some money, like get some outside money. I'm not sure if that 12,500
It is coming to the city
Does
of
it come out
Cathedral
right
City.
off the 80,000? So we really only, I mean, we put the 80,000 in, but we'll get.
The check exchanges with the
But
City
is
of
it,
Cathedral
is
City,
it
not
being
with Sound
spent?
Skills.
Is it being spent back into the event? Or
I
is
would
it-
prefer it to go to the general fund.
Well, I would prefer to go to the general fund too.
Well, sure.
that's
So there's
the-
12.5 right there.
That's the kind of thing.
But Ryan, you're, for the event, the 12,005 is part of the overall cost for the event.
Visit Greater Palm Springs has clarified with me that they are happy for it to be an investment in the balloon festival. I'm talking a little bit more post this agenda being posted. There is flexibility for that to be satisfied to the general fund.
Okay. And a lot of it, I guess, would depend on if there are surprise expenses and those kind of things. So
Sure.
it's good to have a contingency, but if you don't use the contingency, then it comes back to the general fund, and you know you try not to use the contingency.
Since that conversation, I did brief the city manager and our finance director about the dialogue that I had with Colleen Pace and Visit Greater Palm Springs about they were not tied to that being something that had to go to the concert agreement. They were fine with that being a general fund straight up to the city of Cathedral City.
So I didn't see anywhere in here, my last concern was just what you had said before, and I'm concerned that the level of tickets is not going to be enough to generate funding to come back to the city and probably not cover all of the investment made by Sound Skills, and of course, they must understand that too. But I couldn't really find anywhere that it says that if they don't make their money back, then we either make them whole or don't make them whole.
We will not be making them whole. It is
So, I don't
directly
know.
attributed to the generation of the ticket revenue.
All right. Did the city attorney's office get a chance to look at it at that level, or that will be made clear?
I mean,
that-
they're on my staff report review system, so it was sent to them. I don't know, but
Yeah, so this was reviewed by Eric, and normally just for contracts in general, whenever something like that would need to be in writing in order for them to be made whole, it wouldn't be an assumption.
All right, because they're very clear where they're expected to get their money back, but it doesn't really say.
well,
Yeah, a lot of places
I
that
designed it, and I can tell you, my assumption was not for us to make them whole no matter what. It was based on ticket revenue.
All right.
That was the design intention.
So I would ask the city attorney's office if this should pass, if they could make sure that they feel that that's clear, or if they need to
Absolutely.
add something to clarify. So, all right. All right, that's the extent of my questions. So thank you for your patience and for working through that. And then we'll see if there's anything else from the council at this point, and then we'll ask for public comments. Are there any public comments?
Mayor Pro Tem, I did not receive any request to speak forms. If you're a member of the public and you wish to comment on this item, please raise your hand. It looks like we do have one.
You give your name for the record, please.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Council. I'm Antonio Beishu. I'm an 18-year resident of Cathedral City, and I was here on August 13th when they did the regional presentation, and there was 3 tiers on that screen. There was Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. We cannot afford Tier 2 and Tier 3. We're going to be choosing the most affordable Tier 1, and they had 4 acts up there, 4 acts that I never heard of. Never heard of these people. And I never thought in my mind that that Ryan and Sound Skills were going to end up with Robin Thicke. That is such an exciting choice. And I want to remind the council that on a Tuesday night, the Dreamboats filled that amphitheater with 2,200 people. So it doesn't, we obviously, some people might have to work, but a lot of people won't have to work because they don't work. So I think it's an exciting choice, and I hope you vote yes tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Any others?
No others.
All right, thank you very much. All right, it's back to the council.
Make the motion to approve.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Motion by Councilmember Carnevale and a second by Councilmember Lamb. Please vote. Councilmember Gutierrez, do you have the vote option?
Yes, I do.
And motion carries 3-1.
All right, thank you very much. The next item on our agenda is discussion on future agenda items. Does anybody have any future agenda items they would like to bring up? No? All right. Then we have already finished with our closed session, so that ends our meeting for today, and we are adjourned.